Hello and welcome one and all, this is Old School Gamer 1971 here, Millie, Lloyd, everyone, hope you're all having a great day. If you would, please like and comment, if you haven't already, please subscribe, support the channel and help it grow. Today's thoughts is on Medieval. I've been playing this game for around 3 hours, and this is what I think. Medieval, developed by Other Ocean Emeryville. It's an adventure game that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019. Happily, it's a remake of the 1998 game, which was all its own thing. The map will be familiar with a few more trees and graphical McGubbins, but way back when this was released, 1998, it was all its own thing and took inspiration from nothing, which in a sense is impressive with the game's mythos. Other Ocean Emeryville are based in Emeryville, California, USA, with other offices in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, and St. John's, Newfoundland. Also, Labrador, Canada. Founded in 2006, they both working on Minecraft and Mortal Kombat, as well as Simpsons Tapped Out and Super Monkey Ball mobile games, having partnered with Capcom, Sony Computer Entertainment, Microsoft Game Studios, Disney, Konami, EA, and many more over the years. The year is 1286, a good year I hear. The evil sorcerer Zarok is a man with a plan, that being to take the kingdom of Gallowmere with his undead army, and here is where history gets a little fuzzy. According to history, Sir Daniel Fortescue led the King of Gallowmere's army to victory, knocking off Zarok before succumbing to his wounds. None of that is true in any way. In fact, it's a sad story buried on the battlefield. Our boy Danny was taken down by the very first arrow fired. The king chose to declare Dan the hero of Gallowmere, and Zarok went into hiding. A century on, Zarok comes out of hiding, casting a spell of eternal night over Gallowmere. He reawakens his undead army and steals the souls of the living. One of those souls is our Danny boy, who time hasn't exactly been kind to. He is now a skeletal corpse, missing his jaw and the eye he lost in the Battle of Gallowmere. Because he is a hero in name only, he cannot ascend to the Hall of Heroes. Dan decides to use his second chance to save Gallowmere and defeat Zarok, becoming the hero the legend said that Dan is. Dan must fight Zarok's forces across Gallowmere, confronting the hordes and beasts alike, fighting all the way to Zarok's lair. Collecting those chalices really helps here. So is this Medieval, the heroic return, or is it Modieval, the meteoric limp? First of all, this is not meant to be realistic, and no, right? Yeah? This was and is supposed to be cartoon graphics. Its art style, while similar, has had a hell of an upgrade. I can remember being blown away by the original in 1998. This, not so much, but this is impressive nonetheless. Everything is done to the same standard, and as such, it pleases me to have a Medieval game on my shelf once again. As I said a second ago, this game was from 1998, and certainly if you compare the two titles, you can see where it came from. At the same time, the original looks very basic now, both in how it looks and how it moves. It looks like it was ice skating sometimes in the original. Here there is no complaint. I love the original. Instead, I'm saying how much work has gone into breathing life into this remastered classic. The original did get to looking a little samey by today's standards by the end. Here they work very hard so it isn't so evident. In 1998 they had to work with the limitations of the hardware. Here there is no such limitations. They could have said they were making a more carbon copy of the original. Here, no. Instead, they made a game that, whilst paying homage to the original, also makes the game what it was intended to be all along. One thing that struck me straight away, where possible they used the original voiceover. This is good for those who remember the original. As to me, it was a big part of the game's overall charm. Even the gargoyles at the beginning have their lines. This sets the mood and certainly may have some of my favourite lines in the whole game. The music has been enhanced just like the voiceover. This is good as video game music has changed over the years, and so has its quality. Here this fits in snugly with the game, and certainly fans of the original will not be disappointed, and a good job has been done for the first timers also. The game keeps its whole British stylings in both script and style. This is good news. With the original voiceover, it was halfway there. Keeping the music style and we are there. I am happy with the sound and know that I will not be needing Spotify. It is good to see such efforts being made with the remasters and remakes, and this again is all good so far. The buttons are mapped the same to my recollection. This does feel so familiar. However, I don't think it had the analog stick support. Once you're used to it, it soon becomes second nature. In fact, in the short demo they released a few weeks ago, this was feeling better, in fact, more than the original. This makes it feel tighter, run smoother. This all works well and makes the game easier to play for everyone. Now the platforming sections seem more precise and not such a pain. The camera controls are also smooth as anything and make those chalices easier to spot. This is one area that I'm really glad of the overall improvements, along with everything else. Some of this at least is due to the step up in both frame rate and graphics, making it clearer to see and more responsive to play. Knowing where this has come from and know the series had good sales, I never knew why they stopped, but playing this tells me why they have brought this series back, and that they should maybe bring back some more titles from their back catalogue. This really feels like it's part of the original franchise, and it does have that familiar feeling I got the first time I played this way back in 1998. In fact, I probably feel more involved this time round. Right now I'm in the Halloween mood. It is in full swing in fact, and whilst it's not a scary game, it is a pretty spot on game for that Halloween feeling. The humour has that British humour to it. Right from the opening dialogue from the gargoyles to the very end, it feels like it has it. This to me fits the humour so very well, and I was a little worried it was either going to lose it or they might have redubbed it. No need to worry, as I think the developers seen this as an integral part of the game and left it that way. With the original, I did get all the chalices and complete the game. Unfortunately, I didn't finish any of the sequels, and whilst I know it may be next year that this will be on my to-do list, this time round I was more invested in the story. It is a pity I was not in 1998, as maybe I would have completed the game's sequels. And whilst there is better stories out there, I think the humour here is top notch, and not many games have this quite right. So playing this game was great fun, and whilst some of it is its release date, 6 days before Halloween, most of it is the game itself. Nowadays developers seem to believe you have to overcomplicate things. Here it is simple and the game is the better for it. It allows the game to take front and centre. If you have played it before, this is more than it ever has been. If you haven't ever played it before, try the demo, you might just like it. Some things British is timeless, and humour normally is one of them. As such, it will make you chuckle, as it did originally. That is what this game does. I don't think many will belly laugh. This respects the original, and I feel it was the right thing to do. I went in expecting something, and with what they have done with this game exceeded all of my expectations. Shows what the game was destined to be. This is only one part of the trilogy. Does it seem worth its price tag? Okay, so I will address the elephant in the room. In recent times they've released many of these games in this era/genre in trilogies, Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. Whilst I think that a trilogy would have worked, I do think that the price tag does reflect the content on offer. One game as opposed to 3, so it's cheaper. So is it worth it? You bet your ass that it is. A fun game that is easy to platinum. Tick tock, tick tock. So Medieval, the heroic return, it most definitely is. If you are hearing this, you've made it all the way to the end of the video. Thank you very much for your support. Give it a thumbs up and comment if you enjoyed the video. Please share as it helps the channel grow and improve. Enjoy your day one and all. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.